Here's the finished video.
Señor Mueller, tenemos un problema.
La vida está llena de grandes momentos y Honda siempre está contigo gracias a su legendaria confiabilidad. Obtén grandes ahorros en el totalmente nuevo Accord. Honda, siempre contigo.
Let's break it down. This was kind of an odd day. We started super early so that camera could go off and shoot car to car on the Bay Bridge, while we set up an early morning for night scene in front of the old Fox Theater in downtown Oakland. As I understand it, they had to get bridge shots of two cars, the CR-V and Accord, for cutaway shots to be used in 3 of the 5 spots. This opening sequence at the house was shot in the afternoon, so completely opposite of how the story unfolds in the spot. Adding a dog to the mix is always tricky, but director Brian Bacino got what he needed, and DP Kevin Emmons kept the lighting and grip to a minimum so that there would be as few distractions for the dog as possible. We scouted this house when it was later in the afternoon. The house blocked the sun, but we knew we would be filming earlier in the day, so we could use the sun to backlight our talent, and then we would only need to front fill with big bounces, and of course the ever-present foam core belly line for the car. It works. In the early morning downtown, we didn't need a lot either. We had an Airy M40 across the street from the theater bouncing into an 8x8 Ultra Bounce, and a Nanolux Evoque 1200B through a Fresnel bouncing into 3 4x8 sheets of foam core. I think I had a battery-operated Kinaflow air mat standing by for when the family enters the theater. Because we had to capture the car-to-car shots on the Bay Bridge first thing, we were thankful to get the theater scene in the can before it got too light. Then we grabbed some poor man's process around the corner.
And then occasionally, Brooke, give me some quickies.
Jazz hands.
The flashes are great. The mirrors save it.
After lunch, we used a piano store across from our base camp to grab this scene instead of driving across town to the originally scouted music store. Producer Jed Mortensen and his team wisely made that pivot happen while the rest of us were at lunch. Just a brief note about scouting. For 5 days of shooting, the department heads had 2 days to scout. We had the script and storyboards, and then we had conversations about what we'll need and what will probably work where. But in a lot of ways, the scout is just the final touches on an equipment list we had already put in motion ahead of time, because we needed to make sure that the larger pieces would be available, so you put them on hold. We ended up using my smaller truck for the 2 less gear-heavy days, and then adding a 5-ton and driver for the 3 larger days. It's not like we had a separate grip and electric truck, but after spending so much time working off a combo truck, it is nice to differentiate equipment a bit when budget allows.